Good morning. Grab your coffee, take a seat, and I want you to do something for me. Just look around your living room. That $800 sofa you bought 2 years ago. The one with the clean lines and the modern fabric. In your head, that's an asset. It's something you own. It's part of your net worth. But here's the deal. In the economy of 2026, that sofa isn't an asset anymore. It's a $200 debt just waiting to be collected. Let that sink in for a second. We've entered the era of negative value. It's a fascinating, if slightly terrifying, shift in how wealth works. Think about the last time you tried to sell something on a secondary market, Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. You list that particle board dresser for $50, and what happens? Nothing. Crickets. Or worse, someone offers to take it if you pay for their gas. The data is brutal on this. Fast furniture resale recovery rates have cratered to somewhere between 10 and 30% of the original price. And that's if you can find a buyer at all. So you give up on selling it. You decide to just get rid of it. You call a professional removal service like 1 to 800 Got Junk. Their entry price, $200 minimum. Now, do the math with me. You bought it for $800, you can't sell it for $50, and it costs $200 to make it disappear. That means your asset actually has a net value of negative $150. Your living room is filled with these financial landmines, and most people don't even see the fuse burning. The question is, where is all that value disappearing to? All right, let's talk about the real problem. Why is it suddenly so expensive to just throw things away? It's not just corporate greed, it's a physical bottleneck. We're seeing what I call tipping fee hyperinflation. Every time a garbage truck pulls into a landfill, they pay a tipping fee to dump that load. As of January 2024, the national average hit $62.28 per ton. That's a nearly 15% jump in just 3 years. But if you live in the Northeast, you're looking at $100 a ton. Why? Because we're running out of dirt. 3 major regional landfills just hit capacity and closed their gates forever. And here's where the story takes a turn. While it's getting more expensive to bury things, the things we're buying are dying faster than ever. The average life expectancy of low-cost goods is now just 4.8 years. That's a 12% drop since 2023. We've shifted toward non-repairable composite adhesives and materials that are designed to look good for 5 years and then literally fall apart. It's a pincer move. Shorter product lifespans meeting skyrocketing disposal costs. The math stops working, and when the math stops working, city managers start sweating. Look at Phoenix. They just announced a $20 million municipal waste budget deficit. $20 million, their operational costs, fuel for the trucks, labor for the drivers are outstripping the fixed fees they charge households. They're hitting a wall where they simply can't afford your trash anymore. And it's not just the big stuff. Have you tried to dispose of an old laptop lately? New federal mandates for lithium-ion battery safety have pushed disposal surcharges up to $15 per unit. That's a 300% increase. This isn't just the cost of doing business, it's a fundamental restructuring of what it means to own a physical object. Now, this is the part I find wild. When the city can't afford the trash and you can't sell the goods, a new class of power players steps in to manage the mess. Enter the Circular Action Alliance, or the CAA. You've probably never heard of them, but by mid-2025, they were approved as the sole producer responsibility organization in 5 major states, including California and Oregon. They are effectively the new tax collectors of the disposal world. They manage what's called EPR, Extended Producer Responsibility. Here's how it works. States are passing laws that force companies like IKEA or Amazon to pay for the end-of-life costs of their products. Sounds great for the environment, right? Well, look closer at the invoice. These producers are passing those compliance fees, anywhere from 5 to 45 cents per item, directly to you at the checkout counter. It's a hidden disposal tax baked into the purchase price of every SKU. The CAA now controls the flow of these billions of dollars, deciding which recycling technologies get funded and which ones don't. And it's not just regulators. Silicon Valley has smelled the blood in the water. Startups like SolarCircle and Rubicon are using AI to turn mandated disposal into high-margin SaaS revenue. They aren't just trashmen. They're logistics firms using machine learning to sort and mine your old junk for high-purity raw materials. They're turning your negative value liability into their high-margin asset. Honestly, this is the most interesting part of the whole story. We're watching a global network of tech firms and nonprofits build a massive, invisible infrastructure to tax the very act of throwing something away. Let's zoom out for a second, because we've been here before. Sort of. Does anyone remember the Mobro 4000? Back in 1987, there was this infamous garbage barge that spent months wandering the Atlantic because no one would let it dock. Back then, our solution was simple. We just shipped our problems overseas. We sent our plastic scrap to Southeast Asia and let them deal with it. But in 2026, that exit is closed. China's national sword policy and stricter international treaties mean we can't export our mess anymore. We have to process it here on our own soil, and it's expensive. This has sparked a massive debate among the experts. On one side, you've got the bulls like the Ellen MacArthur Foundation. They'll tell you this disposal trap is a necessary market signal. They argue that by making it expensive to throw things away, we'll finally force companies to design products that actually last. They see a future where waste is designed out of the system entirely. It's a beautiful circular vision. But not so fast. The bears, like the analysts at the Manhattan Institute, have a much darker take. They argue that these disposal surcharges and EPR taxes are actually a regressive tax on the poor and the middle class. Think about it. Wealthy people can afford buy-it-for-life luxury goods made of solid wood and steel. But if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're stuck buying the cheap negative value stuff because it's all you can afford today, even if it costs you more tomorrow. You're effectively being taxed for being unable to afford quality. It's a physical version of the old poverty trap, and as Jim Fish, the CEO of Waste Management, put it, infrastructure cannot scale as fast as regulation. We're hitting a physical bottleneck that no amount of AI sorting can fix overnight. So where does this leave you? Here's the roadmap for navigating this new negative value economy. First, we have to redefine what wealth looks like. In the world of 2026, the wealthiest people won't be those who own the most stuff, but those who owe the least to the landfill. We're talking about asset depth erosion. If your net worth is tied up in things that cost $200 to get rid of, your balance sheet is a lot weaker than you think. Every time you buy something new, ask yourself, what is the exit cost? If it's a cheap composite wood desk, you're not just paying $50, you're signing up for a $200 future liability. That hidden cost is going to reshape everything from the way we plan for retirement to the way we look at our monthly grocery bills. The disposal trap is arriving at your doorstep today, whether you're ready for the bill or not. Next time you're at the store, just remember, that price tag is only half the story. The real cost is what happens when the music stops, and you're the one holding the trash. I'll leave you with that.